Happy actual Friday, sports fans. I don't know where my head was at this week. Maybe Wednesday I was just excited, or I'm still having quarantine mush brain. I don't really know what my excuse is, or I was just looking forward to the weekend so much that Wednesday, if you guys caught it, I kept calling it Friday. Like, I dismissed you guys saying see you next week as if like we weren't going to meet up here tonight. So slap on the wrist for me on that one. And excuse the roughage look. I don't know where everybody is located, but it is currently thunderstorming where I'm at, and I had an opportunity to run through the rain and then try to come here and be ready to chat with all of you. So we're going to bear with me tonight as I probably just like feel crazy and all over the place. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Weekend. We do have some updates on some sports stuff for you guys, and of course we always kick it off with NFL because why not? Now, NFL owners will be coming together to chat once again. This time, they need to be voting and focusing a lot more on if we're going to be returning and when. They're going to be getting together on May 28th to discuss new rule protocols in order to return. Now, apparently a list has gone out to players already to review, discuss, think about. Why not? And if it's going to be anything like the NHL, they're going to be allowing the players to vote on things they do like and things they don't like. It makes a lot of sense, seeing as how it's their future, it's their careers, it's their lives, it's their health. So I'm thinking they're going to probably do a vote. I can't wait to hear this information because I'm just hoping and praying that we're going to get some start dates or some clearances for some guys starting to get together, or at least start to return to the facilities. We know that facilities opened back up, and once they did, it was really just staff and then players that needed rehabbing. So hopefully the next step will be getting those crucial players in the door to start building that chemistry and that connection with their teammates. They miss each other, and nobody wants to do virtual OTAs. Now, Seahawks and Devonta Freeman have come to a one-year deal. Devonta Freeman is a freak. So I'm really excited to see this pairing because we know that he was a dominant force at the Falcons. He is what you call he's not only a big back, but he is a tough runner. So it's amazing to see what he'll probably be able to do in the Seahawks system. And then while they were situating Devonta Freeman to a one-year deal, they were just conversing very casually with running back Carlos Hyde. And then just a couple hours ago, they decided, why not? Let's sign him to join the club in the bandwagon of the one-year deal. So just like that, Seahawks have two dominant running backs. Welcome to the Seahawks, Devonta Freeman and Carlos Hyde. Someone else on the one-year deal bandwagon and train is Joe Flacco. He will actually be heading back to the East Coast after his one-year deal with the Jets. We know that the Jets were actually shopping around for an experienced QB, backup QB, as they put it in Joe Flacco. I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion, so what better person to have an opportunity to rub shoulders with Darnold. And then the only concern when it comes to 35-year-old Flacco is the fact that he did just have neck surgery in April, and sources are saying that he actually won't be cleared for contact until late August, early September. But realistically, with all the madness taking place, that might end up being perfect timing for Flacco, and I'm sure Sam can learn a lot from a quarterback like that. For other football news, NCAA was getting a lot of pushes and a lot of shoves. Give us something to look forward to. Give us a date. Not us being the fans, but being the athletes and being the universities. And the SEC decided to get a plan in motion, which will hopefully motivate other conferences. SEC so far has a plan in play that says voluntary in-person activities can resume June 8th under very, very strict supervision. Other than that, they're hoping that games will resume as of August 29th. Now, another conference that's starting to kick around some ideas in terms of returning is the Big Ten, but they're saying they're leaving this decision up to the individual schools within the conference. They're hoping that schools will defer to NCAA rulings and guidelines with each campus and state and local area guidelines. So we'll get more information on that in the next few days. There's supposed to be another key meeting on Monday, I believe. So when we find out, you find out. Be sure to stay tuned with us as we hit a quick commercial break tonight, and then we come back with some NHL talk and the pleasure of talking with Alex Killorn.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, welcome back, guys. So for the NHL, we discussed the fact that they narrowed down playoffs to 8 to 9 sites. A lot of those sites being in Canada, which why not? It's the hockey capital. But other than that, we wanted to get some insight from players, obviously. We had the pleasure of hopping on a press conference call with Tampa Bay Lightning winger Alex Killorn, who told us some of his thoughts on this playoff system and the playoff sites. Now, Killorn mentioned that the playoff system isn't really the most ideal situation. There's going to be teams that might have a leg up on terms of how long they've been training, how long they've been playing together. This whole situation of being on pause has created a lot of they're going to put teams on different scales. So he's not too sure about that, but he did mention that players will have an opportunity to vote. They're going to do so through their email. If you did not know this, Alex Killorn is actually the ambassador and player rep of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it was really great chatting with him. He's one to give very factual information, but only so much information until all is confirmed. As for his thoughts and feelings on, the playoff sites, we know that these guys are going to have to pack it up, go stay there, be isolated, finish off their season. And of course, people want to know, how does that make you feel? Like, are you going to be okay to pick up and leave your family? What's that going to be like? And he said, realistically, you don't get many chances like this to have an opportunity to be in playoffs and go for the cup. And when you know that you have a team that can compete, you're just going to be in a place where you're going to sacrifice and do whatever it takes. So at this point, it's just going to be sacrificial and just do what you got to do. You got to be there for your teammates and your whole team at this point. And if you guys think about it, with the whole break that sports has taken, and if you think about an NHL season, how much these guys are usually actually gone, they play 82 games in a season. Being in isolation and being in quarantine for well over 6 weeks, these guys have actually been with their families. So newborn babies that these guys have had, or the large families that they are fathers to, they've had more time with them this season than they normally ever would. Yanni Gordy even mentioned, he's getting to watch his baby girl grow up every single day, and he's not used to that because he's usually on the road or coming and going, because even when they're home, their training schedule is insane. So Alex Killorn put it nicely to say, it's a sacrifice they're going to have to make. Of course, they're going to miss them. We don't know exactly how long the guys would be gone and isolated for. But if you look in terms of how long they've got an opportunity to be with their families, I'm sure the time, pretty much makes up for itself. So at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. This is their job, and it's time to report for duty. And I'm sure they're ready to get back to it. I mean, I'd be angst. Now, we know Alex Killorn turned into an overnight influencer thanks to quarantine. He was discussing Doc Talk and how much further Doc Talk can go. People ask, what if fans want more of this? Where does Doc Talk end, or where does it, start to continue to take off more? And he said, honestly, if fans are really wanting it, sure, of course he'll do it. He's just got to kind of figure out the logistics of it. The funny part is that he said he's probably running out of docs, which I think he's kind of almost there. He's starting to bring guys out to the water and rent jet skis to have enough people to be on the water to continue Doc Talk. But, they got to take it off the dock. He'll find a new angle and just continue to have the fun and the hype with it. But as for the inspiration to the Doc Talk t-shirts, they asked why Hillsborough County education, and he was like, if you know me, education is extremely important to me. So when it came to a cause to donate everything to and to make an impact, Hillsborough County and him have a very good relationship. So it was a no-brainer for proceeds to go to them. Where his heart is at with this is the fact that there's kids out there that don't have Wi-Fi, don't have iPads, or don't have the educational resources to learn at the levels of other kids, or, compete in the educational system. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Wi-Fi isn't in every household. iPads, where education is going now to the technological level in comparison to where some of us had it 5, 6, 10 years ago. Yeah, some of these kids are, they need that extra hand. So that's amazing that Alex Killorn has thought of that. And a lot of athletes in this community, education is major on their heart. So hats off to them. I had the opportunity to ask Killorn, how's your motivation right now? And what's it like trying to stay in hockey shape outside of the arena? He said it's not a problem staying motivated. Honestly, he enjoys working out like this, the way that he's been working out. And if you think about it, he says basically in his summer routine that he would normally be in. As for the hockey shape, it's definitely tough, he said. he hasn't been able to measure himself on the ice in way too long. So when he does get that opportunity, he's going to have to re-gauge his speed and everything else in his skill set when it comes to being on skates on the ice. So he's just ready to get back in skates. And to stem off of my question, somebody asked, how long do you think you're going to have to be in training camp for? Typically, they ask for the team. Killorn said, I can't speak for the team, but I know for me, when it comes to the logistics of it and getting back on the ice and in skates, it's probably going to be roughly 2 to 3 weeks of training camp that he'd be comfortable having. Now we know that athletes develop new hobbies during quarantine. So one of Killorn's hobbies is actually fishing. He said he finally caved in. He dived into some fishing stuff. He got all excited and told us about this green light that he ordered that's supposed to bring in some kind of small fish that reels in snook, and he broke down the whole logistics of all the fishing stuff. Well, unfortunately, Killorn's caught nothing. So everybody wish him some luck that he catches a fish sometime soon, and then his new fun, fancy green light. Outside of that, he said he doesn't watch much TV, but if he had to say anything that kept him grounded to watch was 90 Day Fiancé and Dave. So if you guys are running out of shows, I would probably go check that out, because if he doesn't watch much TV and that kept him entertained, I'm guessing it's decently good. Stay tuned with us as we go to another quick commercial break, and then we chat about the NBA and MLB.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a point.
My hand is clean. Yeah.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
All right, guys, welcome back. So as for the NBA, Bucks owner actually gave us some insight to say that in terms of returning, they'll possibly be heading to either Las Vegas or Orlando. Now, if you haven't caught the theme yet, a lot of the cities being kicked around in terms of hosting teams to continue seasons are tourist attraction cities. Las Vegas makes most of their income by having people come and get lost in Las Vegas. And Orlando is one of the top tourist attractions as well, between Disney World and Universal. Now, we know that Orlando is actually very attractive in the sense that they have ESPN Worldwide Sports, and it can host a lot of teams, a lot of people, with keeping safety measures and precautions in place. So we know that MLS is looking to return their season and go to ESPN Worldwide Sports and do a tournament-style season, and the NBA is actually kicking around the same idea. Pun intended, if you caught the MLS to NBA transition. Now, on a sadder note, unfortunately, Hall of Fame coach Jerry Sloan passed away at age 78 due to Parkinson complications. So we send our best wishes and prayers to his family. And somebody who was probably one of the first people to speak out and recognize what COVID-19 was going to do to our nation is Kevin Love. Kevin Love speaks up and opens up once more, but now it's about mental health during COVID-19. Love says that he's not worried about getting it himself or grieving or even grieving the death of someone close to him. He's more concerned about knowing what can happen if people experience these things and have feelings of loneliness in this situation and isolation, or if they're dealing with job insecurities or financial difficulty, as well as like internalizing all the stress because you feel like you have no one to talk to during this time. He said it's really scary what's going on in the world right now. And if you feel like you're going through it alone, don't feel like you're going through it alone. Please take the time to go and talk to someone before things go too far. He said he doesn't have all the answers, but speaking from experience, he does know that there's a lot of resources out there, and he is encouraging everyone to seek help if they're feeling any kind of way during COVID-19. This is stirring up a lot of emotions, a lot of worry, a lot of concern. It's a very unknown time. You know, not many facts are coming out, or on a day-to-day basis, it's going from one extremity to the next. We're okay. We're not okay. It's going to open up. There's going to be a second wave. So yes, guys, if you are in a cross of emotions, or you're just, overwhelmed because there's so much to try to figure out right now, there's so many ways that you have to make sure that you can keep your life going afloat. Talk to somebody. And for the people that are like, well, if I have no income coming in, how can I even afford the health care portion of this? There's a lot of free healthcare out there. So hopefully all of you guys have a way to just Google, get the research. We know that NAMI, N-A-M-I, is a free resource for mental health. So make sure that you are doing what you need to keep your headspace clear, happy, and focused and clear. All right, guys, Kevin Love has a clear message for this. And if you want more information on it, it's all over ESPN and SportsCenter right now as we speak. As for MLB, they're playing a little bit of tug of war. I don't know what's really going on there. I wish they would give us like a percentage of who's saying what, just so that we can have a little bit more clarity. Because at this point, we knew that players were pissed about, well, not all players, but a lot of players were pissed about pay reductions because at this point, they're putting their life at risk to return to play the game. We've beaten a dead horse on the fact that, some pay is better than no pay. Now, the new fun part with MLB players is that they're asking for them to relax on some of the health protocol procedures that they have in play. Like, calm it down a little bit. That's one side of the fence. On the other side of the fence, you have players saying, actually, we just need a lot more testing. I'm still not comfortable. So what is the actual percentage here on who's not feeling comfortable, who doesn't want to return, and why they don't want to return? Like, it's getting kicked all over the place. And in the midst of all of this, they're still hoping to return in early July. Totally fine. The MLB is expected to make an economic proposal to the union within the next few days, so we will have that information for you guys next week. Now, we know that golf returned to the green, and that was with no fans and limited contact between golfers and caddies. Someone who did not return amongst other golfers was Adam Scott, and he will actually be making his return to the green in July, not on, because they didn't give us a specific day. NASCAR did return on Sunday, and Sunday's victor was Harvick, and we got a chance to hear him say how weird it was to hop out of the car and have no fans and look at your team and see them in mask and not know if they're smiling at you or grin, like what they're doing underneath that mask. So he said the emotional response was definitely super weird and off after winning on Sunday, but a new victor took place on Wednesday in Darlington, and that is the Daytona 500 winner, Denny Hamlin. So congratulations to Hamlin for his victory on Wednesday in Darlington. Guys, if you only knew how long it took me to okay, look, Hamlin, it's an easy name. It is. You read it and you're like, oh yeah, Hamlin. For some reason, I could not get my life together in Daytona 500, and my team will tell you, like, I couldn't say the man's name. He was not Denny Hamlin. He was just Denny, because when I got to the Hem part, I ruined everything, and I'm probably still butchering the poor man's name. But anyway, congratulations to Denny on his victory, and I'm sure that he'll have a lot more coming up on the track. He's kind of crushing it. I mean, Daytona 500 is one of the biggest races, and he did awesome with that one, and then he won it on Wednesday. Now, if you guys were tuned in on Wednesday, you saw that we had the opportunity to interview Tampa Bay Bucks tight end Tanner Hudson. No, we're not related. And his lovely girlfriend, Carly. When we got to the fan and audience questions, we had some technical difficulties. So Tanner will still be answering these fan questions, and we will relay this to you guys next week, let you know what his answers were to you guys' questions and so on and so forth. Of course, everybody wants to know where every player's head is on the Bucks when it comes to the 2020 NFL season. There's still so much excitement there in terms of Tom Brady and Gronk, the leadership they're going to bring to the team, the excitement they've already brought to the team, and just the potential that the Bucks had without a Tom Brady and Gronk. So where's that going to put them coming forward? So we're going to dive in a little deeper to some teams. We're going to talk about the NFC South and how they've probably become one of the scariest divisions in the league next week. Guys, make sure that you are super safe. I know it's Memorial Weekend and everybody's excited. Clearly, I've been excited because I thought the weekend started 3 days ago. Just remember, there is still something pretty scary going around. So, be smart. Keep your sanity, but enjoy your time with your friends and your family. I hope everybody has a lovely weekend. I hope that it doesn't pour all weekend like it's supposed to. And after you guys have a safe and exciting Memorial Weekend, I will see you all back here Monday at 8 p.m. with me, FNN Sports Take. You guys have a safe weekend.